Let's get into it. We got Jared Curtis intel. Steve, right before we came live, there was some breaking news. Tell us the latest on Jared Curtis. What's changed?
So Jared Curtis, and I'm posting this on our message boards right now for our Door Report and both our Georgia sites over here at Rivals. But Jared Curtis originally was planning on signing and announcing his final college decision on Friday. I'm told he will now do that on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. local time, 10 a.m. Eastern. So we will have the final decision from Jared Curtis on Wednesday morning ahead of his state championship game and not afterwards.
Does this change anything in terms of how you thought of this recruitment? Does anything change for you?
I mean, obviously, my prediction's on Vanderbilt. That is the program that I think is gaining momentum down the stretch. But this is a young man that is committed to Georgia twice, has a lot of love for the Bulldogs program. Kirby Smart, Mike Bobo, the caliber of players they recruit, the consistency of championship level play, and so we'll see what happens. He continues to have positive dialogue with the Georgia staff. And then certainly I think once Clark Lee signed his extension with Vanderbilt, it really intensified with the Commodores and I think helped them grab momentum down the stretch of this recruitment, one that we're closing in on with finality.
Really interesting. Major development down the stretch. Jared Curtis, it sounds, Steve, Would you categorize this as Jared Curtis is making a third decision?
I do. I think that as he goes through his process, there's been new information that he's had to take in and digest. The first time he committed to Georgia early, he didn't get a chance to fully go through his process and take visits and see schools. And he decommitted from Georgia out of respect to Georgia that he was calling Mike Bobo before every visit and say, hey, I'm going to go visit such and such school. And Coach Bobo basically would say, yeah, man, go out and visit. Just remember you're a dog. So finally he just wanted to just go out there and be free, visits a bunch of schools, goes back and forth between Oregon and Georgia, ultimately commits to Georgia. Second time, Vanderbilt kind of takes off here as a senior. It's a completely different Vanderbilt program. They stayed on him. They're playing at a much higher level. Clark Lee signs an extension. The opportunity to play early as a freshman has become more of a priority for Jared down the stretch of his recruitment. Doesn't mean it'll be the end-all, be-all for him, but as he gets closer to signing, I think playing early has become important to him, and he sees an opportunity to do that at a program that's having success. So just been new information to digest. I mean, this is a young man that has been recruited as long as anybody just about in this cycle, earning offers in camp prior to his sophomore season. He's very gifted physically. It's easy to see why he's recruited so heavily, about to play for a second state championship on Thursday. New information has been brought to him, and he's digesting it all to make sure he makes the right final decision. So if he picks Georgia, he'd be picking Georgia essentially a third time, if you want to break it down that way. Or Vanderbilt's obviously giving him a lot to think about at the end of his process.
All right, so we'll see what happens here with Jared Curtis, but you guys are the real recruiting experts. What's your prediction? What do you guys think is going to happen with Jared Curtis now on Wednesday at 9 a.m.? And, well, I guess we're going live Wednesday at 9 a.m. for our signing day show. We thought Jared Curtis
probably
was
a little earlier, right?
Yeah, probably a little bit earlier than 9 a.m. Thought Jared Curtis was going to announce on Friday. His state championship game, as Steve said, is on Thursday, so he's going to make that decision Wednesday now, play in the state finals, and not have to worry about his commitment afterward. So we'll see what happens. You guys let us know where you think he's headed. Steve, let's stay on the Georgia topic. Defensive lineman P.J. Dean, we thought he was locked in, but now South Carolina has come calling. What do you think? P.J. Dean out of the state of North Carolina, so not an in-state recruit for Georgia.
Well, P.J. Dean's obviously got the family ties to the Georgia program. It's a place that he's seen firsthand how they develop their players, how they treat their players. And it was a back and forth. I was talking with colleague Chad Simmons about this morning. I mean, it was a real back and forth with South Carolina leading into his first commitment to Georgia. And even Ohio State had some momentum for PJ. So it was a tight recruitment for him. It looked like it could have went South Carolina's way, but Georgia pulled it out. and South Carolina stayed on him. I mean, Coach Beamer and that coaching staff, when you're a coveted target, they build relationships, meaningful ones, and stay on you and continue pushing. He was slated to visit South Carolina earlier in the fall. That fell through. He was able to make it there this past weekend for the Clemson game. I don't think you can cross South Carolina off, but Georgia continues to, from what I understand, have good interaction with PJ Dean going into Wednesday. We'll see what happens, but right now I have him in the Georgia class as I talk to you at 1:56 Central Time on Monday. Feels like Tuesday already.
I know. It does feel like Tuesday, but today is Monday. We are live right now, and let's stay on this Georgia topic one more time. Is there anybody else you're watching when it comes to Georgia, whether committed or potential flips down the stretch here?
Yeah, a couple guys. 4-star offensive lineman Tyreek Jemison visited Georgia 3 times this fall, including their last 2 home games. He's trending towards the Bulldogs on the Rivals prediction machine. Blake Stewart, in-state safety, someone that Georgia has really hit the gas for this fall. Former Clemson commit. They're battling Vanderbilt again for him. Georgia Tech's been involved. Miami has had him at the top of the board. Georgia predicted for both Blake Stewart and Tyreek right now. Chad Simmons and I not sleeping on the Commodores for Blake Stewart as well.
All right. Well, Georgia fans, talk to us. How you feeling about signing day? Will it be a celebration of Jared Curtis? How do you guys feel? Let me know. Comment section below.